Good afternoon and welcome to the quarter-final bracket of the Open Division. It's the Australian Ultimate Championships Division 2. And we've got a cracker for you, a genuine humdinger. It is the Dragon Slayers versus Equinox. A little bit of a surprise to see the Dragon Slayers upsetting Chile in their pre-quarter. Equinox tipped to be here, but we've got a genuinely exciting game coming up. It's late in the day, it's 4:20 p.m. local time. Both teams having played at least 3 games today. The legs are heavy, the hydration's low, but the spirits are high and the intent is even higher. My name is Andy Moroney and I'm joined by Avril Tam. Avril, great to have you here. We're in for a genuinely enjoyable quarterfinal.
For sure. As we heard earlier, Dragon Slayers getting up against fresh Chile, probably unexpected and beating their seeds. So really well done. The 2 Melbourne clubs really working hard to make this a nice showcase.
And we see they're not mucking around straight away. They're right into it. The Slayers run and gun. They're not fatigued from their pre-quarter at all. A break backhand out. Where's a little bit of contact. Plays through it. No call and a call now. So we'll see what happens. Their offense all over a little bit, all over the place. They make it work. The dump a bit haphazard. Jimmy Tan has it. Goes outside, but there's a block. It's an Equinox block early on, and he lets everyone know about it. And so we've got the first turn of the game and the first break opportunity of the game. Equinox tap it in, and they're happy to see a flick huck straight out of the bag, and that is the first goal of the game. Almost a spike, thinks better of it. And just like that, 1 throw offense.
Equinox, a huge roster, everyone getting involved, making sure they start this game with authority. A beautiful long shot. Paddock of space, defender nowhere in sight, gets up high to get it early. Berger there with an almost spike celebration, but elects to look after the disc. It's only early days, don't want an early taco.
And a lot of energy from the Dragon Slayers. They came out up and about. But Equinox happy to punish. They say, if you're going to turn it, we're going to score. A lovely statement of intent. And you said it right, Avril. Massive sideline from this Equinox team. They're at least 20 deep, if not a little bit more. And at the last game of the day, last game in the bracket, you just wonder, fuel in the tank, and we're going to see a... No, we don't see an offside. One of the players called an offside, but we're going to play on, Jimmy Tan.
Sometimes electing to just go with the flow, getting the disc moving early.
Brian Ing with giving off the backhand. I like Brian.
And so Dragon Slayers, there is a call on field, potentially a foul with some collision and some players on the ground. So a very heated way to start the game. Both defenses coming out very strong.
It's up and about, isn't it?
I like the energy. Despite being the last time slot of the day, the boys are certainly up and about, making sure they put on a good show here from the live stream. And Dragon Slayers, a club from Melbourne, probably less well known than some of the other counterparts. But as we said, getting up over their rival club in fresh Chile to make it to this quarter.
Oh, there's no other way to put it. That's a boil over. That's a massive upset from this club. Who have, yeah, you're right, they've been thereabouts, but we're really seeing like as we watch this come in, a shift. You know, some of the old clubs like Heads of State and Chile now getting done by the Pelicans and the Dragon Slayers. So I love it. I think it's great, and we've got a pick call.
I also love the names. Something a little bit atypical.
Look, I like the names. I think when it's like XXDrAg0NSL4Y3RsXx, that makes life a bit hard for us, as we see Brining.
The formatting, a lot to be desired.
Oh, you kidding me?
So,
Run through.
and that was a steal from Equinox. Lai moves things quickly. Everyone's still trailing behind, so maybe just creating space. And we have a long shot, but that one sails out of bounds. And Lai there, not able to get there before the line. So that is a bit of a let-off there.
Oh, big time. Especially early in the game.
So Dragon Slayers, a big shot again, good separation, but defender now catching up, goes up early, but then the second effort, and is immediately called a goal by his opponent. So Dragon Slayers with a hold on the ball to make it 1-1.
Yeah, his opponent there doing the best to get around him. I think it was, not sure who it was. We're still working out a couple of jumper names, but did his best to give him a high five, but he was pretty keen to just pop off and give it a spike.
So you see here, both teams willing to play a long game. I think intentionally set up to isolate that deep player, and a lovely layout there. Did well to avoid getting ground stripped as well.
Yeah. Went hanging, high five. Yeah, I'll just high five myself. Watch this. Nice grab. Goes for the high five. Hey, brother. Nah, you're good. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, all right. Sweet. Spirit of the game. Love it. And so we're at 1 apiece.
Nice pull goes up by the Dragon Slayers.
Great pull.
Both deep and high. Defense running down this pull chase, having to start at the back of the end zone. Good way to apply pressure from the Slayers. And just having to opt for a small shot, and now they go a big one. Two boys in the space, but defender does well to outposition and nudge the opponent under the disc. Dragon Slayers looking to get things going quickly. Oh, and that one is bobbled out. Unfortunate for the Dragon Slayers fans. So now knocking on the end zone door. Around swing to Yang. Moves up to Sia. And just waiting for things to evolve, but there is a foul call downfield. Looks like some nods of heads and quickly accepted one.
It is going to come in quite high, I think, though, Avril.
Yeah, I think defense have been really hot to shut down that open under space.
It's coming in at least 6.
Can he find an open player to slot this one in?
Oh, there's a nod of the head.
And see that upline is looked off. Now over the hammer to the fat side. Plenty of receivers there to raffle it off.
That's the nod of the head.
And that is Leung with the score. So after an initial break to start the game, a couple of holds, settling into this game 2-1.
And for those just tuning in, we should call out the conditions of the game. It's still about 30 degrees, Avril. It's 30 degrees, but not a lick of wind. So I think we're going to see a lot of long throws both ways. There is no upwind, downwind, but there is fatigue. It's hot, it's dry. You've had play. I think both teams would have played at least 2, if not 3 games today. So a real war of attrition. If it stays close, there's every chance we will go to Universe Point. As we see the Equinox team, Berger, we've already called his name, catching a goal.
I think Mark's here as well. I do recognise a fair few of these names who were playing in the mixed division with the Frisbee last year in Div 2. They came away with a gold medal. So I'm sure some of the connections moved across from the mixed team into this open side. Hopefully that will pay dividends.
Yeah, and I think it's been a really interesting dynamic shift. We were listening to the team earlier today that started as a traditionally teams would start as an open or a women's team and move into mix. It's actually going the other way now. We had that team out of New South Wales today start as a mixed team, and then they're like, oh, this is our first women or opens kind of thing. So it's great to see that cross-pollination, and more importantly, clubs building multiple pathways through each of the divisions rather than starting different clubs for different divisions.
Yeah, and I think it's also a testament to the growth of our sport as well. You know, we've got a lot of the uni clubs becoming really active and competing too.
Yep.
So, you know, those pathways now, and I know with our high school focus, the sport's just growing, and another big shot goes up. There's 4 people in the space, hands on it, second grab. But there is a call to hold things up.
There's going to be a call.
Guessing a foul call. There were about 4 bodies underneath, plenty of hands waving in the air. All right, trusty game advisor, Aidan Turner there, available to provide perspective should the players want.
Well, it's lucky that we've got the game advisors, because about 15 peanuts on the sideline cut across Rex Johnson, and he's filthy about it.
So just this one starts to float out the side. First tap and then a grab there and a tumble.
Well, fortunately for us, and I said this in the last game, sometimes replays provide a lot of clarity. Sometimes you're like, you know what, the only or the best 2 people to provide a perspective on that contest are the 2 people in it. You know, they know whether they got touched or not. They know whether that was beyond what the split in difference of the incidental versus contact that impacted. And I think it's probably the latter.
I think the other discussion will probably be if it affected play or not. We saw that disc starting to fade out the sideline.
Yeah.
And so even if there was a foul that occurred, it's, okay, did you actually have a second bid potentially on that play, or was it always going to sail out?
He did have a fair bit. So that, yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. We don't know exactly what's being called, but the great thing, as you said, Avril, the great thing is that we've got game advisors, we've got impartial people right there, Johnny on the spot to review it and provide their impact. Obviously, for anyone new, their advice is non-binding. It doesn't need to be taken.
Well, I think with the discussions extending, it's clear that both sides do not agree, so best thing is to send it back to the last clear possession. So players now just trying to get back into position of when the throw came off.
And we said it in the last game, sometimes the mechanics of the game actually work to our favour. They go, we're really not sure, let's send it back. You know, sometimes that's a howler. I think, again, in this situation, you go, that's probably fair enough. Like, it's a 50-50.
Yeah, really difficult to make a definitive call there. And so a horizontal set now, so space up front and back, but elects to go behind. Oh, and a little bit of miscommunication on that dump set earns Equinox a turn. And taking the time to walk up, waiting for the offense set. Looks like a standard vert stack, although the stack seems to be fairly far away. Multiple cuts offered, elects for the open side. And now goes behind to Soon. Berger with a 1-2.
This is danger signs for the Dragon Slayers. Avril, they weren't able to put any kind of pressure on. They were all stall 1, stall 2, stall 3 throws. If I'm Equinox, I'm happy as Larry that that's the case.
For sure. I think Equinox just displaying that quick throw-go movement, moving the disc side to side, made the defense really have to think about where they were protecting. But when you're going at that pace, it's so difficult to adjust and shut it down.
That's the thing. Like, if they score the goal, right, okay, did you get a high count? Did you get half a chance? Did you put a body on? But when it's like that, it's pretty, like, I use the term bruise-free. Not that we want to create bruise, but there's no kind of inferred or actual pressure. And I reckon if I was Dragon Slayers and they're not calling a timeout, they're walking very slowly to the line, that's what you got to change.
Yeah, I think that added pressure from the huge slide line of Equinox, we can see they've probably got about 3 lines worth of players there.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that vocal intensity as well. You know, you can give you a bit more information, give you a bit more energy. I'd like to see Dragon Slayers make sure that they stay strong in here and maintain focused.
I mean, not that we know what the outcome of the other quarter is, but we watched a fantastic pre-quarter here with Carnage and the Pelicans, and I just felt like did both of those teams, regardless of who was going to win, play their kind of final. Mudlark's obviously one of the most favoured teams, but similarly, the Dragon Slayers had a boil over against Chile, and you just hope that they didn't play their final there. So I want them to respond. I want them to get one on the board. 3-1, hold you, gets to 3-2. But 4-1, then you start getting in a little bit of trouble. So I want Dragon Slayers to respond here. They see one. They let one go. It's Nick's naughty. He's going deep. He's going to work it in, and he's going to make it 3-2. And that's what the Dragon Slayers needed. Was it Jimmy Tan? Was that his goal? Hey, Jimmy, was that you? Not getting much from Jimmy. That's fine. That's okay.
I mean, Dragon Slayers also using that same strategy of trying to move things quickly and immediately looking for the long option. Really nothing.
Was that you, Jimmy?
Really nothing Equinox could do to stop that. In the end, comes out trump. So really nice to get an efficient hold of Dragon Slayers. That will do them some good in terms of their mental resilience.
Sammy Lee, my apologies with the goal. And it's Leo. Sorry, it's Leo Dykes with the goal. And Lee with the assist. So a bit of a pressure release, Avril, for the Slayers. 4-1 versus 3-2. It's a very different kind of proposition. So really glad that they were able to arrest a little bit of that momentum.
For sure, and when you get a 4-pass score, that puts the pressure directly back on the opposing team. So nice little way to lift.
And we see Equinox here running out of a set play, really deliberate, and it works. Dragon Slayers not without their opportunities, but the set play that at the brick mark lie, looks around.
Mark taking their time to get on. So stall count now rising. Goes out wide and a fantastic layout deep, but it's deflected into the pans of Equinox, who flip it in for a score and a little infinity celebration to boot.
An infinity celebration? What's an infinity celebration?
He weaved
right,
the disc, made an infinity shape.
Is that what they do on Fortnite or something, is it? Or?
I don't know, you have to ask the Dragon Slayers.
Jimmy Tan, great bid from him. Actually got a hand on it, but good adjustment.
I think he did well, like you said, to get a hand deflect it. I'm sure he'll be hunting a few more of those blocks, and hopefully soon we'll see an outright catch. There we go. Just a bit unlucky. The flight path of the disc still remains in the air.
And the only thing that concerns me right now is if you look at the body language, we're going to get one shot. We can see Equinox right now. They have 7 players on the line, and they have about 15 kneeling down, checked in.
Yeah, you can see
you can't see it in shot, but the Dragon Slayers had about 5 people limp to the line, another 2 go, and the rest go to get their drinks. And I'm not having a crack at the Dragon Slayers here. They've done amazing. They've caused a boil over. But you can't treat this as, we played our final in the last bracket.
Yep.
You know, so in terms of energy, as we see a lot of support for the Dragon Slayers, they need more of that.
Yep.
But poor Felix, he can't be the only one. The rest of the Dragon Slayers need to put in and have a crack.
And they go down with a horizontal offensive set. Plenty of pressure there on each pass, and another big shot goes up. Is this going to be a 2-shot part? That one is floating out of bounds, and the line beats both players.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he was battling both his defender and the line there. Was almost thinking about a greatest, I think.
Yeah, I think defender knew that might have been a possibility, so ensure that they got in the way of that second chance. But you see Dragon Slayers, interestingly, moving the disc quickly with the small ball and then immediately looking long. Not even seeing what is downfield, but knowing that they've isolated that one receiver downfield and making that a one-on-one matchup. It might be about how many of those they can actually complete and pull down.
One goes up. Oh, a little bit of a speculator, but it works. And we see one go deep. It's a one-on-one. It's trailing. They're under there. Second chance. Not taken.
Oh, sigh of relief there. So both sides taking the long options, but a couple of incomplete ones. And they can trying to work out their matchups on defense now, Equinox. Slayers, just a little one upfield. Oh, and that is unable to be retrieved. Short field for Equinox. Can they squeeze this one in out the sideline? Yes, they can. That one is Peter Wazer for the score. Couple of frantic turnovers in that point. Equinox comes up trumps.
Yeah, and to I guess borrow some parlance from boxing, like if you're in the square, so these guys are on the ropes right now. Dragon Slayers are copping a few blows. They're hanging in, but they need to adjust. They need to do something to try and just stabilise, because right now Equinox are punishing them at any opportunity.
And that was key with the score, as we see here.
And sometimes you just got to hold it out. Do you know what I mean? Like you go, okay, they're on a run, and you know what? They've called a timeout, and I think it's the exactly right thing to do. I'm gonna go check in on an Av.
Sounds good. So we can see how big the Equinox roster is here. Certainly outnumbered and outvoicing their Melbourne counterparts. Seeking some shade, as we said, it is still hot in this quarterfinal. But Dragon Slayers now coming out. You can see some good support there from Felix on the sideline. I really like that picture he's knocked up. Almost an exact match for colour for the Dragon Slayers logo. So Dragon Slayers also getting vocal, trying to win this energy battle. As Andy said, sometimes it's just about riding the wave, making sure they stay in touch, because it's really difficult for teams to maintain the same intensity throughout the whole game. They know that opportunities may come a bit later.
So I think it was a really good timeout from the Dragon Slayers. They just want to like relax things a little. Oh, that's the last thing you want. But just get some touches on the disc. They just want to take the acid, take the sting out of this game a little bit. Just get some touches, pass it around, because right now Equinox have all the play on their terms.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of successful Dragon Slayer scores becoming really big hucks. But sometimes when you get a little bit over-aroused, it is too much of a, rush and a quick point. Now, just maintaining control. I think that's a good idea. Just like you said, touches. Time with the disc can sometimes put pressure on your opponent as well. And they do well to get this small ball against this Equinox zone.
Great.
Now rifling up in behind that first ball. The small ball working well.
Chill.
So now just calm and chilly. And a nice swing out wide to use the width, having to drag the defenders across to open up some holes. And the hole's not forthcoming, so electing to swing and work their way around the zone. Makes a hammer.
Sold me. He's got a lovely throw, Brian. It's such a nice wide stance, so stable.
Ooh, just sneaks that one under the arms of the defender. So again, Dragon Slayer's happy to remain patient and swing wide. Those holes now open up. As you said, some very crafty throwers.
Yeah, and they're going to be really patient, Brianing.
And you can hear the calls. Oh, and another one through the hole. So Dragon Slayer showing that they not only have the big game, but the small ball as well.
I think that's what you got to do if you're Dragon Slayers, is don't worry about As we see a great shot. Some fans on the sideline going bananas for the Dragon Slayers. But I like that. Like, play this more well. Like, I know it's about scores, but sometimes it's just about taking the sting out of the game. Just pass it around. Take all the energy out, because right now Equinox have all the energy. They got all the vibe. Just flatten them a bit. Get them a bit tired.
I think the key word is control here. So if Dragon Slayers can actually control their own offense, that is the way to try to chip away at the breaks that they've managed to lose to Equinox so far. But, you know, I like it. They're staying in this game. They're keeping their heads up high in that timeout. They were getting vocal, trying to get each other together on the same page. As we see the roster here for the Dragon Slayers, not quite as long as the Equinox, but Seaton had some fantastic shots through that cup and backed up by a nice team there.
Yep. Jimmy Tan, I'm a big fan of Jimmy Tan. I'm a buyer. I buy Jimmy Tan. I think he's great. Percy's good.
I think Leo Dykes has been involved a lot as well in the score.
Taller fella. Yep.
So a nice pull really to push Equinox into the end zone. Although nice flow, and that was a bit at D. Long option to Laser. That just trailing away, but reads it well. And now no one there on defense for the Slayers. That is a very efficient hold for Equinox.
Yeah, and look, when you start getting into the more advanced levels of Div 2, certainly Div 1, you've got to think about games not only in individual points, but over the course of a game. So right now, the Dragon Slayers O had about 45 seconds off. Right?
Yeah, that's not much of a spell.
And they had to work for it. And then you watch the Equinox O basically march it in, and they go, oh, great, well, I guess I better just get out there again. Now, in isolation, you go, oh, okay, you play O, you play D. You multiply, you extrapolate that out over the course of a game, then they start getting fatigued. Then there starts to be a problem. And you magnify that. We are 4:46 in the PM. You know, you need, like, let's trust the Slayers to clean up their O, but you need to assert some pressure on D.
Yeah.
Keep them out there.
I did like that bid we had in the underspace. They've had a couple of close ones.
Yeah. But that's, I agree with you, and that's individual stuff. It needs to be backed up by team, structure, accountability, and strategy.
Yeah, collective effort. And I think the other thing, offside called. And so it will be taken in from the brick mark. I agree. I think that collective energy, we know that they've got a smaller roster, but if they can work together, deter some of those deep shots, you know, whoever the deepest defender is, just peel off and help out, or maybe a little bracket situation, something to stop that flow and work together instead of having to rely on individual efforts.
Yep, agree.
And that's a tall one, but Dice gets up high. Tall boy with the goods. And now Dragon Slayers working the small ball nicely.
It's a good point, Av.
And now settling in, searching for that dump. First one is looked off. Alex for the fill. And again, doing well to work hard to get that open side under. Again, just maintaining control. I don't mind this.
There's a call.
Pick perhaps called.
I think a little bit more than a pick. I think he was picked, and then I think he was hitting something that rhymes with pick that I'm not going to say.
Bit of a rough one this afternoon.
You can leave the rest to your imagination. A pick in that. No, not going to say that. He's going to take an injury for it too. I know there's a foul call.
Okay, so perhaps maybe a push-off foul of some sort.
Correct.
Dart's getting suspiciously free. And the players are chatting. Both game advisors on hand there, ready to offer perspective if asked.
And I don't mind this because they're actually talking, what they're also, like, you don't want this to take too much time, but they're also talking about how we're going to mark each other, you know. So this is basically a downfield kind of marking issue or guarding issue. They're saying, okay, where's the line here? Because it's always got to be individually monitored. And they go, all right, where's the line? Every player is different. Some like no body, some like a bit of body. So they're just working out where that line is. And you'd rather see this at 6-3 than 11-all.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think the key is, like you say, maintaining consistency across the game, right? So establishing what the accepted level of contact is for this particular game between these two teams, and making sure that that stays consistent when they are keeping in mind the calls going forward.
So on the chat, we're getting a lot of support for the Knox. Up the Knox. Let's go Knox. There was another one that we won't read out, but it was very enthusiastic about the Knox. But if you are a fan of the Dragon Slayers, drop it in the chat. Get up and about. Like, subscribe. Yeah, Dragon Slayers, got to get up. So this one will go back. And I think, again, to our point earlier, it's, probably right, you know. That's why the mechanics of the game, they're kind of there to serve fairness.
So now with the disc, stall count is rising. That dump is eventually engaged with another pick downfield. I'm not sure if that ended up affecting play, given that the dump was clearly engaged.
Yeah, I don't think it did, but you always got that argument from the front of the stack that they could have peeled off and pulled off D of the century.
And so the pick's kind of disrupting the Slayers' flow.
And I think we're going to see more rather than less of them, to be honest with you. Like, sometimes the offense breaks down. Brian this time elects just to dump it back.
So Tan, your man.
My man.
Moves through again to nice wide pivots and fakes to move the mark, but has to go backwards to go forwards.
Go the inside break. There you are. Oh.
So it was good space, but execution just not quite right. Too much outside in edge on that one.
That was my fault. I baited him into it. But the shot was there. You were right.
Yeah.
Like that inside lane's there. It just turned over a bit.
Oh, and defense there intercepted by Tan, but there is a call.
Jimmy convinced he got there first, and I think he might be right. Oh, I think he's right.
It's a tricky one.
It's very close, and again, we leave it to the players on the field, Avril. Yep.
I don't think that was Jimmy's direct opponent, but recognising the space. And this one is high and out of bounds.
On a completely unrelated note, there is a saying that goes, the disc doesn't lie. And we do have a turn now.
So Dragon Slayers again with a very short field. Surely they'd be looking for end zone play, and I think Dykes is isolated, and he does go out the back. Rides on the shoulders, but...
I was about to say, he got on the Big Dipper and went for a little ride on the roller coaster.
So, looks like he is all right there. Just face marking. Eventually, Dice gets up high, but scrolling away underneath his key. He the one actually apologising.
Yeah. Sorry that you landed on me. I don't know. Jeez. Don't know if I'd be that.
Yeah, I think he tripped over and lost his footing. And
well, there's something in AFL called tunnelling where you kind of get underneath him and, well, he didn't even really do that, did he? He just got caught in the wrong place, wrong time.
So that was a pretty
nice grab, though.
Yeah. I think that was a really composed offensive point by the Slayers. Like we said earlier, moving the disc really on the small ball, side to side. Eventually, with that ISO play from a static disc, wins them the point.
And the Dragon Slayers' energy is just electric. Everyone wants a piece of it.
Do you know where the Dragon Slayers comes from? Is it some kind of game or character?
I'm assuming it's a gaming thing. It's what xXDrAg0NSL4Y3RsXx. It has, I don't know. It's... Is it a millennial thing? What's after millennials? What's the Gen Z? Yeah, it's a Gen Z thing. Is there something after Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen Alpha and now apparently Gen Beta.
Oh, God.
The baby's born now.
Get me off this planet.
I know, it makes us feel pretty old in the box, doesn't it? And a nice pull. The sideline encouraging the defense to get down quickly. And
good setup. Good setup from Dragon Slayers. They've set a bit of a junk, and I think it's okay if they can hold it from here. They do.
So... the swing side to side, trying to work around the zone, but doing well to contain that. So not gaining too many metres is Equinox. So perhaps a dose of their own medicine.
Yeah.
Dragon Slayers forcing Equinox to throw lots of passes, keep them accountable. They move things relatively easily through Lai. And plenty of communication coming from the sideline. I like that from the Slayers.
Yeah.
Still managing to hold things up. Don't want too much of that flow displayed earlier with those continuation long shots. But Equinox up to the task. Sharp, short throws to the chest. Yang to light. So plenty of movement from Equinox. And now they go a big hammer. But the deep is in the space. And a well-earned turnover from the Dragon Slayers.
Leo read that really, I think it was Leo, read it really well, and he's off.
And there's some long options, but looking for that dump. I like how the Slayers are maintaining control here. This is a crucial opportunity.
It was Eden Walker. Jared Olsen, my apologies.
So Chu now, upline, moves it to Javier. A nice low release, picks it up off the ground, and now moving things a bit more quickly with Flo, looking for a long option. That one was always going out the side.
Yeah, OB, yeah.
That is a real shame after showing some early composure by the Dragon Slayers offense, but there is a retracted call. Fair enough, that disc was never going to be coming back in.
No one had a crack at that one. Look, and you're right, that they got the D and it was good, but it was off a deep shot. What I would adjust on is the fence for the Dragon Slayers. Just seems a bit too placid. They're playing 4 up around the disc, so get aggressive. Don't allow these little pops in.
Yeah, they're playing more of like a zone which is forcing lots of turns and waiting for the offense to make mistakes, right? But we can see that Equinox have a barrage of fantastic throws. That's the aggression we need, right?
Yep, have a dip. Yep, have a dip. Like, you might get beaten, but have a go. And if they get a couple of passes, haul ass, make sure you get back. But you'd rather see them have a dip.
For sure, because sometimes that aggression also adds some perceived pressure that builds throughout the game. We can see that Equinox have already displayed they've got plenty of throwers willing to throw those passes, maintain possession, they're very accurate. So I'm not sure that the containment zone is really the way to go to try and earn a break. So not too many meters gained.
And you take the win of your Dragon Slayers, right? They're retracting ground, receding ground a bit. Take that.
Now, Walker, Yang and Lee working together. Make a little bit of ground. They're about a third of the way down, just past the brick mark, and that is a lovely inside flick. Opens things up. Surely they collapse to match.
Great patience from
and Equinox. I mean, in these conditions, the throwing is, pretty stock standard. I'd expect a lot of these teams to have plenty of depth in that still.
Well, it's a good point you bring up, Avril, and we'll wait with it to see if they score. But it's dead still. Like, is junk still the way to go? Like it was earlier in the day, but look at this. There's nothing. They're getting it at will. It's a training drill.
Yeah. I thought he was going to go for that hole, but...
He's free.
Yeah. Not sure why Sears elected to hold on. But in the end, they do maintain possession.
Because he knows there's another option. Like, there's no pressure. It's not like, is the wind going to blow up or whatever.
Yeah, the wind often, the 8th defender, we say. And now they call for a match. So very late call to the piece.
Trouble.
And Walzer, plenty of fakes. Oh, trips over at an inopportune time. That looks like he
can have a chat.
Yeah, whether he tripped over the toes of the defender. And Wazer now, you can see, not sure if there were some feet involved there.
I don't think there's too much contesting there. They're going to have a chat. Yep. Accepted a foul.
So the disc will be in the possession of Yang and be brought to the front of the end zone. So after 75 passes at this point, surely Equinox will manage to punch it in. And the cone is well protected. Defense, Dragon Slayers trying to get in the way, but Equinox do manage to convert that hold. 75 passes in total, 69 passes by Equinox, only 6 to Dragon Slayers in that point. So certainly a well-earned conversion on hold.
And that brings up half. 7-4, Equinox taking the edge in a very, you got to say it was, they probably didn't need to throw that, but they did. Wore a little bit of contact, nothing untoward, nothing intentional.
And a nice spike to celebrate that half. So we've got Equinox up against the unlikely Dragon Slayers, but they are not going down without a fight. We will be back with you on the other side.
And welcome back to all the second half action of this quarter-final. Equinox have the edge, 7-4 over the Dragon Slayers. But we're joined by one of the Dragon Slayers, Jimmy. tell us, what was the message out of half? Obviously, you boys had an amazing game in the pre-quarter, caused a boil over of Chile, would give you a huge amount of confidence, but you are behind. What was the message out of halftime?
Well, to tell you, we are a second half team, so we are going to come out guns blazing here. You just got to watch out for the boys. We're going to start bidding now, so Equinox, better watch their backs right now.
Fantastic. And you personally, what can we expect from you? We're going to have the magnifying glass on you, given you've just gone pretty hard with something.
Okay, I've been playing pretty shakily just now. I think I've got my nerves out of the system for hopefully in the second half. I'll control the disc a bit more and maybe put one big up to Leo, another big guy to look out for.
Okay. Hey, 3 bids. Okay, that's the layout. All right, that's the over-under. That's what we expect from you. All the best in the second half.
Thank you, Smalls.
So Jimmy Tan saying that they are a second half team. Plenty to look forward to.
A lot of confidence from him too.
Yeah.
He's like, we're coming.
I mean, taking some earlier confidence from some big scalps. But Jimmy made a good point, in terms of a bit of that nervous energy. I don't think the Dragon Slayers, many of their players would have played in big games like this where the stakes are so high. And so nice to see the nerves hopefully settle and bring a bit more control.
And you never condemn yourself to failure, but they may have gone into that pre-quarter going, well, Chile on paper are the favourites. And they got them, right? They sprung them. So it's like, I don't know if we would be playing this quarter, but here they are. And now that they're in the game, let's see if they can just get a little roll on. We're going to have a call here.
I mean, they're doing well. Equinox have made no ground. And there's a travel call. Surely that didn't affect the play.
Well, I think there was confusion. There was some talk from the sideline as to whether it was a call. So I think you're right. I don't think it'll affect, but players definitely stopped.
So the hand signals that the play will stand as it did not affect. So that kind of wipe off the top of the head, one of the new hand signals in the current edition of the rules released just this year.
What does that mean? Asking for a friend?
Play stands did not affect.
Excellent. I knew. I was just testing you.
I have passed my rules accreditation.
Oh,
not
me too.
sure if,
me too. No, absolutely. Love it.
Gets on the ground. So, again, Dragon Slayers D's doing well to contain, looking out for some bids. Not yet happening.
They're not moving it up. Oh, they might now, but they're not really moving it up, Ab. So I kind of like this from the Slayers.
Yeah. The last point resulted in about 70 passes. This one now goes up top.
Yeah, they're out now.
Well done to the Equinox, working through that Dragon Slayer zone. And now the off races, surely this one is going to be complete, but they elect to go backwards to go forwards, resting the legs a little. Yang to lead. Sorry, Light. Nice big fake. And Dragon Slayers electing to keep this zone look, although now might be a match and a bladey forehand. Well received by Leung of Equinox. Only 26 passes required for a clean hold to start the half.
Yeah, and that's a dream start for Equinox. The last thing you want to do is kind of have a soft turn or a soft break, especially out of half. So that's exactly what Equinox needed.
I'm keen to see maybe a mix-up with the zones. The containment worked well, but once they broke through, they got some good flow.
Yeah, you're right. They did have them hemmed in a bit, but as soon as that overhead went up, it was kind of GG, and you almost got the sense, and I know it's game 5 in a 5? Yeah, it's it's the 5th slot in a day. I know you're tired, but you can't just drop your head and kind of go, okay, I'll trundle. You got to haul ass. If you're in that fence, you got to go try and create some pressure because you've instantly got the player disadvantage. So, yeah. It's easier to say than do, and that's why I'm sitting here rather than out there, but you just got to do it.
Yeah, I think it looks like they've been playing mostly a 3-3-1 zone. I don't know if there's, another way to force middle and, channel some disc in that space where there's lots of players, and then you can get a bid on that disc. They seem to be happy just to let them swing side to side at the moment. So maybe just a change up in the formation of the zone to force some different throws can generate an opportunity.
Or go the same way but more extreme. Play a match. Play a match. Force them sometimes just changing the dynamic, and they're used to, all right, I'm the wing or I'm the popper. It's like, no, you've all got a cut now. don't underestimate the value of changing it up.
And Dragon Slayers move it up better now. Stuck on that far sideline. High release backhand. Works nicely.
Looking, John, looking, John.
And we see them use the width of the field now. And there is a foul or pick called. So Jimmy Tan did tell us that Leo is a big target to look out for.
Yep.
Retracted call are the hand signals. So the sun also setting now, getting a little bit in the players' eyes. You can see a few hats and sunnies out there trying to combat the glare. And just coming in on 2. Dykes with the disc. Looking for that dump.
Nice.
And now the continuation, although with some heat on defense from Equinox. Now finds a free man in the middle and a high release backhand. Will that stay in? No, it won't. Equinox making sure of that D. So Dragon Slayers not able to get the job done on O, in contrast to the clean hold by Nox.
And obviously, Equinox have the points advantage. I also feel like the longer this game goes, the more it advantages Equinox. You know, like the Slayers have been very brave, very gallant, not only in this game, but in the whole day and tournament. But they must be getting a little bit tired, and you can see their heads drop more than the Equinox players.
I think, you know, sometimes a big bid or big play, you know, something on defense now when you've got kind of less to lose in a way.
Yes.
I think looking for some spark to really ignite their team. Like you say, the energy is dropping a little bit. They need to find something to really get their heads up and going and bring about some of that confidence that would have got them to this point to the quarter.
And what we will say is there's a little bit of spice happening in the YouTube chat. Love it. Don't cross any lines. But I'm loving a little bit of smack talk between the Nox and the Slayers teams as we see a huck go.
And a big reception. There's bodies under. Well received. That is pulled down. And the Nox team maintain possession, looking for an inside flick, just using that break side so well. Continuation all day to receive that, and that is a break for Equinox via Nathaniel Tan. Dragon Slayers having worked their way so far up the field. Really disappointing to get broken.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a heartbreaker. They had a shot into the end zone, went out. You can see they're just absolutely knackered. You see Equinox's team storming the field as we see the goal out to the break side. No chance from anyone with a Slayers jersey. But you see the Nox team storming the field and the Slayers are kind of limping back. Something needs to shift. One person needs to go, you know, like inspire the team, lift them. Do one thing. And that could turn the entire dynamic of the game around.
Have noticed that Equinox have been using that break side particularly well.
Ah, for sure. Smashing them.
Yeah, and I think it also means that, you know, if they can throw to that space, the downfield cutters not having to work so hard with their legs to get open on the open side. So kind of saving a bit of energy as well as using that flow really well and efficiently. That's certainly a tick in the Equinox box should they win this game and get through to the semi.
Yeah, and you're right. And look, don't get me wrong, the Slayers' energy has been fantastic. But as a downfield defender, it would do my nutting if I'm knackered. And you go, look, I'll mark under, I'll mark deep, but you're getting it 10 metres out the break, so like, help me out.
So Slayers again working open side, continuing to work hard. I mean, Ginny Tan said, whoa, that's a fantastic grab by Dyke, that throw just behind. And Leo, big boy, a big pivot. He gets a nice around break, but unfortunately the receiver falls down, so unable to make use and really manipulate that flow. The jump has to work hard to shake free.
Stack's very deep, Av. Even with the gainer, still very deep.
And there's a call on field. Travel, indicated by the hand signals. I think talking about a change of direction. I think Chung having a chat with Gan and calling in the game advisors for some clarification. So the Slayers, it just feels like they're having to work much harder on their offensive points compared to Equinox.
100%, yeah.
I do wonder if they can make use of that break side. They did have a good shot on that around break previously by Dyke.
I was about to say the inside break, even the around break space looks fantastic here. A lot of discipline from that stack.
And they do indeed make use of this break side. Dyke again to the rescue. Pierces us one through. Fantastic reception, but a more flat mark. Oh, and that generates the turn. Again, disappointing for the Dragon Slayers.
They're going to punish him. They're going to punish him. It's gone.
And Equinox knocking on the doorstep, looking for a 2-pass conversion here on break. And indeed, making his teammate work hard for it. But Equinox are celebrating 2 breaks in a row. I think with those long hucks, Dragon Slayers just not having the legs at all to cover and provide any defensive pressure. So we see the benefit of the bigger roster come to fore here.
Yeah, you're spot on, Av. I think this is where some depth in the roster helps. You're never going to notice it more than at the end of day 2. You know, like that's where you go, right? And I don't want to make excuses for the Slayers, but they did have a massive game, massive boil over. They would have been running their lines ragged last game. But I've said it a few times. We've seen, body language-wise, I can see best part of 30 players off to my left, listening to the line call, and I can see 6 limping to the line on the Slayers. So it's not a crack at them. I know they've got a short roster, but it's borderline white flag getting thrown up territory, you know?
Yeah.
we have we've got players that have actively just they're kind of done. You know, they're out. These 2 brave soldiers here have just put in all that they can put in, and they've gone, nah, I'm out. They were getting feedback. We told you to get on, and they're like, no. I'm just going to, where's the nearest frothy?
And we're 56 minutes, so 70-minute time cap here. I think a couple of the boys looking forward for this game to be over. Can get in the pool, get a massage, hot shower. And
Percy won't. Percy's going to shoot it. Percy's going to go for Leo. He's got to battle the sideline. He does. But it's out of bounds.
So Dragon Slayers trying to make the point shorter, maybe a bit strategic as well.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good call. And apologies, I've done it again. It's Jared Olsen. It's twice I've called Jared Leo. But I see a tall ex-Chile player, and that's just where my mind goes.
Equinox also taking their time to pick up the disc and get things going. Certainly not showing that they've been deterred by any fatigue.
Oh, and there's a great quote from the great Paul Keating, who just goes, "I'm going to do you slowly," you know, and that's what Equinox are doing right now. They're just going, we're happy to play. We'll play the small ball. We'll walk you to it. Like they know they've got the fatigue advantage. As we see a big hit in the stack. Nothing untoward, but geez, he caught one. They're just doing it on their turn. Yeah, just a mix-up in the stack, a bit, basically a big pick.
Well, that's disappointing. The Dragon Slayers not having that many legs already and having another one down.
Mate, half their team's in the sheds. Why don't you guys get out there? My goodness.
And Dykes particularly has been a pivotal part to get those conversions.
He's had a crack. Yeah, he's had a crack. I don't know if these guys, have you had a crack? Oh, they've had a crack. All right, everyone's had a crack. That's all you can hope for in a quarter. And as we say, they've done well to cause the boil over against Chile.
A long shot, no surprises, goes up. But some life in the Dragon Slayers yet. They do come down with the disc. Is
that Brian?
Even running up to the line to get things going.
Bang!
Big shot. And it's 2v1. And the Dragon Slayers come down. That is Quintero with the disc.
Come on, Perce.
Percy looking across. Upline to Quintero. Looking for a low release shot. Some good composure here by the Dragon Slayers, and they end up with a surprise score here with not many soldiers on the park.
They're actively calling players on. Your turn. Next man up.
And the 2v1, a couple of the Slayers showing that they've still got the legs to keep going in the tail end of this game. Way to get high and get body position, nudge the opponent under. And a nice little upline flick there to finish off.
Ryan, come here. He's calling you over. And we're joined by one of the heroes of that point, Brian. Amazing D, and you just let one go. You're not going to die wondering. I know you guys are tired, but geez, you've given it a crack.
Sorry, what do you mean?
I mean, you had a really good point there. Do you hope that inspires your teammates?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope my teammate going to run pretty hard. After the game, we're going to party hard as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
it.
So you're jumping 1 or 2 steps ahead there. Like, there's still a couple of points left. I mean, let's jump onto that. I mean, where are you going for the party?
Not sure. We are just going to stay in the account. We have a good account.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay, all right. Well, look, before you do that, maybe do 1 or 2 great things before you jump into that.
We will still try to win the game.
Oh,
But
that's
see how
good.
It goes.
Oh, yeah.
See
You
how
thought
it
about
goes.
that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that's a novel idea, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Why don't you try and win the game, and then after that,
Yeah?
we'll work out what the party looks like.
Yeah, cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, well
we'll see how
done.
it
All the
goes.
best. All right, see ya. Oh, my goodness, all right. Brian, thinking a couple of steps ahead, old mate. Gee whiz.
Got to have something to look forward to, right?
Oh, look, I'm with him. I'll be the first one out with him, but maybe just try and win the game, Brian.
All right, so Lai now works his way up with Leung.
Priority at the pub.
So Dragon Slayers opting to go for a zone. Not surprised. Sometimes a zone managing to save the legs. Match D. Oh, and that one pierces us through first and the second layer of the zone. So Equinox making plenty of meters, only half the field left to work with. And again, throws pinpoint to the chest,
Wow.
and that one is a sharp one.
That's a great throw.
Walker receives that easily on the doorstep. And a nice little high release to finish. That is Leung with the score, with the assist from Walker. So Equinox, I'm sure they'll be keen to finish this game off and do some celebrating of their own. They are in prime position to take this game to advance to the semi-final.
Oh, and that's the tale of 2 stories there. I think we've got our M-Man Brian thinking about maybe a more extravagant night, whereas Equinox still in the hunt. They'll be in bed by 9:30, Av.
Yeah, certainly prioritising the recovery. Like we said, it's been hot conditions, so the players will be keen to cool down.
What was your approach, Avril, to okay, we've got a quarterfinal tomorrow. What was your post-game kind of wind down?
Shower, eat, sleep, all the
Shower,
basics.
eat, sleep. Okay, good. No Netflix or, team chat.
It depends on the team, right? I know the coaches often have plenty to say, same with the leaders, setting expectations, getting everyone on the same page. But for me, just a little bit of wind down. Don't mind a word puzzle or 2, getting the Wordle
that's a good one.
stats.
Yeah. I was an ice bath and speak to as few people as possible kind of guy.
That does not surprise me whatsoever. And certainly Equinox looking to try and ice this game. Dragon Slayers still working hard to maintain possession, and
Nice
a nice
throw.
shot through. And now getting some pretty decent flow. Equinox opting for a match now. These early shots before the stall count rises.
Brian's a shot here. Brian a shot. The white hat, front of the stack.
Oh, and there's heat on that reception, but swinging well.
He's going.
Stall count's rising, a bit of a flat mark.
Stack's very deep, Av.
They haven't readjusted to the positioning of the disc moving backwards. And Dyke's back after that injury call. Good to see him on field. Oh, and
Great
plenty
bid.
of heat on that. But Dragon Slayer still with possession and a casual hammer throw. However, oh, no, it is a goal called. And so the Dragon Slayers not dead yet in this game. Some late resurgence. So Jimmy Tan earlier, we did have him on the mic saying that they are second half team. Have they left it too late to chase their tails?
They've certainly got a little bit of work to do, but it's not unassailable. I mean, we've seen wilder things, not many, but we've seen them. Oh, we might grab Jimmy if he's around. We might grab Jimmy just very quickly. Jimmy, can you tell us, we had actually some, we were curious about the etymology of your team name. Where's it come from? It's xXDrAg0NSL4Y3RsXx.
So Dragon Slayers originated from a team called Super Poops, and then we found that name was a bit offensive, so we decided to change it to XX Slayers. We originated from a bunch of gamers. Our original shirt originated from MapleStory. So therefore, a lot of our IGNs back in the days would have the underscores and AXXs. That's where it came from.
That's fantastic. I understood about 30% of what you just said just then, so that's amazing. Any plans to rename the team so more people might understand, or are you going to stick with xXDrAg0NSL4Y3RsXx?
I think we'll probably stick with XX Dragon Slayers. I think it brings a good smile to people when they see that they're up against us, and hopefully that they might underestimate us from that our name too.
Okay, well look, all the best. Get on the sideline, cheer them home. Come on. Let's go the Slayers.
So after a nice efficient hold, the Slayers certainly getting the voices on the sideline. But
Great shot.
Equinox, a huge shot there. Couple of receivers, but they misread that disc.
He went early. I loved it. I like the ups.
Perhaps thinking about that back line, making, oh, that's huge ups there. Getting the calves and quads working. So Dragon Slayers, as we said, not many legs and rotations left, making sure they eat up plenty of time bringing the disc to the front of the end zone.
Oh, that's the thing. It's on their terms now, unfortunately. You know, it's a bit of war of attrition stuff.
So very deep. Looks like they're isolating one player in the underspace. Elect to go the upline cut, and that's a beautiful backhand huck the other way. Oh, but this time read best by Equinox. No mistakes on that one.
That's a great D. Well done, and made sure of it with the grab.
So you can hear the Dragon Slayers communicating with their deepest defensive player, trying to deter more of those long huck options by Equinox. So instead they work the open underspace.
One's going long.
And now with a short field, again, just that open side space. That is Eden Walker with the score. So Equinox, despite giving the disc up once, not making the same mistake twice. So just the legs of Equinox working hard to get the open unders, make it very easy for the throwers to hit them. And Walker there was pivotal in this point. Missed that first reception, but then manages to make amends with a D and then a nice assist to boot. And so we've just been informed by the game advisors. Of course, it is game point. With Equinox on 12, it will be a game to 13. And we are almost touching the time cap as well. 68 of the 70 minutes.
And they've been brave, the Slayers. Many not tipping them to get past the pre-quarter over Chile. Caused the upset. And Equinox breaking out the white striped Seven Nation Army takeoff.
Asking their boys for an emphatic break. Want to take some good energy and intense defense into hopefully the semi-final. And that's a nice over-the-top throw to get past that zone, but the wing defender in position, celebrating that turnover. Lie picks up. Stack is far away. Up line to another lie. So the two lies working together. Coming across to Ong. And that one sneaks past both of the Dragon Slayer defenders. That is game. A quarterfinal win for Equinox. And the disappointed Dragon Slayers. As we said, plenty of props for them to work their way into the quarterfinal match. In the end, the shorter roster proving to be too big of a challenge, despite some gallant efforts. Dykes and Jimmy Tan heading up their lines, but this one just sneaks away from the two defenders. In the end, too many legs to stop. And the offensive flow of Equinox, they'll be hoping to take that straight through into the semi-final. Very competitive here at the Division 2 Ultimate Championships. Plenty on the line in this game, but a great way to finish day 2, and that is game 6. Pleased to bring you the broadcast, ULTI.TV, working hard in the Shepparton sun.
Yeah, and as you say, Avril, that brings a close to today, but my goodness, tomorrow is shaping up to be something special. Got some semis and some finals. Equinox will progress through. Slayers, they'll be playing for pride and position, but Equinox still in it, and we've obviously got a huge amount of action, not only from the Open Division, but the Women's Division as well. Some really exciting games today, and I anticipate it will only get better tomorrow.
And as Danny said, that concludes our coverage from ULTI.TV on day 2. Make sure you are on the stream tomorrow. As we said, some really fantastic semi-finals and gold medal matches. This is Avril Tam and Andy Moroney signing off. Thank you for saying, Maureen. Yeah. Get up there. Drive safe.
And we'll stick with it for the NSU versus Stout game. This is the end of the quarter. There's a big disc that goes up, and it's a turn. You can see a big pack grab go up. So we'll try and find out what the score is, but it looks very close and tight. 12-9, I believe, is the score. But both teams playing with something to lose and something to win. We get the break goes off. It goes up. Hits the under. Out into the middle. Everything pretty tight. 3 stream deep. Leaves the open. They dish. So pretty smooth thus far. They get it to halfway. No real defensive intensity yet. Using the lateral space in the field, going all 3/3. This one, but that gets picked off. You can't throw that inside break. You can see even at this late point in the game, they're doing their best, but everyone's buggered. A lot of walking players on the field. No one in the stack wanting to cut. Someone gets in power position, so they give it a go, but it's not going to work. Count gets high. They look it back. It's safe. Nice swing into the middle of the field. Stout with the advantage in this game, and they shoot one into the end zone. And I think it was Toad. He's not convinced. And goodness knows what's going on here. We've got Pokemon. There must have been a Jigglypuff or something. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I've been playing this sport for 20 years. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Trading Pokemon, were they trading, Rex? What was the idea? Were they trading Pokemon cards there? Oh my goodness, righto. Takes all types in this game. I guess you got to catch them all, as they say. As we go back to the footage on the wide field. Shot deep, unmarked, and that's a goal. And that's Stout, I believe. And look at the elation. A gold card. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's good or bad. This is 10 years before my time. But anyway, they all seem pretty excited about it. So good on them. And I think that will be game over there. Stout victorious. And so now, on the second time of asking, we will say goodbye on behalf of Avril Tam and myself, Andy Moroney. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been a fantastic day of pre-quarter and quarter-final action. We will see you tomorrow. And sometimes this sport is a game of inches, as you saw just there. We will see you tomorrow for a jam-packed day of fun and frivolity. Until then, on behalf of Avril, myself, and the entire ULTI.TV team, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
ULTI.TV